It's hooking us up right here.
Yeah, he's excelled at every level, and they told this kid, hey, you have the opportunity to win the job in camp. So, like, you got to put Judge in this category. When you're talking about the most impressive season since, like, you got to put A-Rod. Like, format, this first year, the new format, the Beast of the East. The Yankees crushed the best division in baseball. McPherson, WFAN, on stage.
Hey, Keith Mack, man, big fan.
Thank you, TikTok. Thank you. Who said that in TikTok? Chef Cisco said no volume. No volume. That always happens because I'll be in here with my microphone and headset muted, and then I'll go live, and then I'm not. It'll say that I'm connected on StreamYard. I'll get a reading, but this little mixer I have, you got to tap it to go live. You got to tap it to go live. So we're live now, but what I'm about to do is queue up these videos, these clips from yesterday's press conference. I think first, it was Cody Bellinger's press conference. And, Cody Bellinger was the one who said the term running it back. And we'll start there. So, let me go and share my screen right now. Let me share my screen. TikTok, if you want to see these videos or if you haven't heard these clips, go to YouTube, go to Twitter or Twitch. In the TikTok chat, thank you, Chef Cisco, for letting me know my mic was off. Echo 540 says, what's up, Keith? What was your exact reaction when that tweet of Soto signing with the Mets? I don't remember. That's so far in the past. Who cares about that? I think I have stuff out there. NYC Pinstripe Club says, what's up, Keith? What's up? Chef Cisco, love listening to you, and I'm a Met fan. Appreciate it. I'm bringing in some Met fans. If people have noticed, I did a few Met fan pods, some lives, and I feel like now that I'm not on the airwaves, I don't have to lean so much into trolling you guys. But don't get me wrong, the jokes write themselves. When it's time to do the LOL Mets, I'll be laughing out loud. I've already achieved my live goal. Great. All right, well, let's get this thing rolling. Let's share a screen. I see Steve from Freehold, my guy. What's up, bro? Down the shore. Javian Sandridge to the Angels for cash considerations. Who cares? I mean, I guess it's a move. Ray Condi says, now you're coming in live. Now you're coming in loud and clear. Listen, we're about to walk through these videos, and then I'll play them and I'll react. And for the folks on TikTok, you won't see the videos, but if you're a Yankee fan, you probably already heard and saw these videos already. Let's see here. Let's share it. Cody Bellinger yesterday. His press conference. Let's see. I got it muted here. Hold on. Let's run it back. Run it back. Like, somebody's got to make the shirts. I'm not going to make the shirts because I don't think they're going to sell. Somebody with a lot bigger presence than me has got to make the shirts, the run it back shirts for 2026. So here is Cody Bellinger. Let's make this big. Here is Cody Bellinger talking about running it back.
This roster is going to look very similar to the one you guys had last year. What makes you confident that the outcome and the ending can be different?
Yeah, actually, I feel really good with that. Obviously, it might not be what everyone wants to hear, but I really do love the group that we had. We had a special unit. We had, great chemistry that, I don't think can be understood unless you're inside the clubhouse. We all play for each other, and on top of that, we have some important pieces coming back, and we all played well, and I'm excited to run it back with those guys, and I'm fully confident.
Hold on.
In the group.
You said what?
This roster is going to look.
We all
Cody Bellinger
well,
says,
I'm excited to run it back with those guys, and
I'm excited
I'm fully confident
to run it back with those guys, and I'm fully confident in the group. Shout out to Brian Hoke, who asked him the questions. And listen, man, the whole point of me even doing this stream is to tell the Yankees to own it. The press conference was Cody Bellinger's press conference, and he said, I'm excited to run it back with those guys, and I'm fully confident in the group. He also went on to say that they had good chemistry and, like, there's a good bond there, and that he likes those guys, right? So if Cody Bellinger, in his press conference, one of the better players on the team, the biggest offseason signing, is saying, I like those guys, there's good chemistry, I feel good about those guys, feel good about the season we had, and I'm excited to what? Run it back. Say it in the chat one time. Run it back. Run it back. If Cody Bellinger is saying he's excited to run it back, I would expect Brian Cashman and Aaron Boone and the whole organization to echo that. Now, I get it. Run it back is a term that Brian Cashman and the Yankees are probably trying to avoid. So with that being said, let's move on to, Brian Cashman. Let's see if I can find the exact one that got everybody's panties in a bunch. Where is it? And honestly, bro, Cash, like, I've now seen Cashman since 1998. This job would age anybody. But Cash looks like he needs I don't want to be insulting. He needs a better camera angle. He's got to know this is not a flattering camera angle, and this can't be the way. So here we go, folks. Here is Brian Cashman yesterday, and when we get off this part of it, we'll talk about it and we'll go to the next thing. But here's Cashman kind of almost taking offense to the term we're running it back. He said he disagrees.
Mostly be running it back with a similar roster. What makes you believe that you can get better results this year with that same roster?
First, we have good players. It's a collection of really talented players. It's not the same roster. I would differ there. We have some players at some point returning from the IL.
Okay.
Important players.
Okay.
Garrett Cole being obviously one of them, but we've had some additions, from the second half that, got their feet wet with the Yankees, some with success, some with,
all right,
failures or success. But, once they'll now be in a position to join us with their feet on the ground and getting their sea legs under them.
Okay.
With the manager too, learning how to utilize these guys and where they slot and everything else. So, and I use the shortstop that'll be manning shortstop as an example until Volpe's back. We added a lot of weapons at the deadline and
a lot.
All finding their proper slots, maybe.
On TikTok, this is Cashman talking.
Deployed, and also growing pains of competing in the New York arena, getting some exposure to postseason baseball, especially in the American League. I think all that will serve us well. So I disagree. It's the same team running it back. It's going to be some different. I think all that will serve us well. So I disagree. It's the same team running it back. It's going to be some differences. I think all that will serve us well. So I disagree.
Disagrees that it's the same team running it back.
It's going to be some differences, and the competition is going to be different too. In some cases, some teams got better. In other cases, some teams you could argue maybe got a little worse. Our division's the best in baseball. But long story short, one series, make or break is not going to define what we think our capabilities
that Blue Jays
are.
series or any of those series. Hold on. Well, let's pause this because I got to talk. And when I go to clip the videos, I need to be in the center of the camera and not competing with the shared video. So of course Cashman is going to disagree because what you're insinuating when you say that they're running it back is that he's not doing his job. He's not making the team better. He's not adding anyone. He's not doing anything to get the team over the hump, and that they're content, that they are comfortable, that they are good with where they finished last year, which was losing to the Toronto Blue Jays. Now, I don't think that's the case, but I've told you guys 100,000 times, the Yankees find excuses and they find things to help them sleep at night, right? Like, let's say you got drunk and you got an argument with your girl and you said something terrible to your girl and you feel bad about it. But you'll go to sleep at night and say, well, she shouldn't have been antagonizing me. She made me do it. Nah, it was my boy Johnny. He kept buying them shots. You'll find excuses. You'll find other places to put the blame besides looking inward and being accountable, right? The Yankees always lack this ability to own it and be accountable. That's where we're at, chat. And for that brings us back to the title of this stream. That brings us back. It brings us back to so many familiar moments with the Yankees. They lack accountability. They lack the ability to own it. These guys will come up short and find another reason to pivot, move the goalpost, And that's why I said on Twitter just now, don't piss on my head and tell me it's raining. That's what they do, bro. That's what they do. I'd rather you own it all the way. I'd rather you all the way say, yes, we are running it back. Yes, we feel confident in this team. Because, to cite the guy that they got from the Rockies, I don't even know his name, to cite Ryan Weathers, those are marginal guys. To cite the guys that you traded for at the trade deadline and call them weapons. What did they do for you in the postseason? David Bednar, I'll give you. Camilo Doval, I'll give you. But it was your offense that failed you. Who did you trade for that? Oh, Ahmed Rosario had a big knock against the Red Sox. You traded for Jose Caballero, but you were scared to use him. You just went right back to Volpe and let Volpe die out there. Ryan McMahon hit a home run in the elimination game that ended your season in the Bronx, a bullpen game against the Toronto Blue Jays. Ryan McMahon hit a home run. He had a good play going into the dugout to catch the ball. It's like, yo, miss me with all that. Like, just own it. Just please own it and say a couple things, right? And there's a lot of people that are leaning into this, saying, yo, the lockout's coming. The lockout's coming. No point in doing too much. And I don't really co-sign the lockout talk, because the Yankees have the third highest payroll in baseball. They're over 300. We'll play Joel Sherman in a minute. But let's go back to Cashman now. Let's go back to Cashman and what he had to say. I'm gonna let you finish your thought, Cash. I'm gonna let you finish. Go for it.
In postseason baseball, you got to bring your best baseball every series, and if you don't, you're going home. But doesn't mean that we weren't capable of great things. We just didn't get the job done.
It's always, bro. Don't you guys get now? Like, I am somebody who was telling y'all to chill. I'm somebody that was saying some of y'all are sounding like some spoiled ass crybabies. But I am getting tired of hearing the ultimately we didn't get it done. We had a chance to do some really great things for 16 years. This is about to be 10 years since Judge had his debut. Go to my TikTok, go to my Instagram, maybe my Twitter. Through this 2016 challenge, I went back and re-downloaded Snapchat, which I haven't used in 5 years. And I didn't even know. I was like, oh, I was there for Judge's. I knew I was there for Judge's first game, but I didn't even know I filmed his first ever roll call. I have the video. It's out there. I don't know if anybody else has that video. But anyway, this is why people are tired of Brian Cashman. I have a ton of respect for Brian Cashman. Like I even said, this job has aged him, and I know it's a lot of work. And Cash, next time, you see how I'm on the camera like this? You see how the camera is right here? This camera is like lined up with the top of my head. You don't need your neck all in. The camera shouldn't be under you. And I could tell that's because he was using the phone. So he had his phone up under him and looking down. It's not flattering to see all your yada mean, cuz I'm looking out for you, bro. I have now started to actually cross over this offseason because of this not owning it. Y'all have pulled me down with you because I was saying, yo, the team won 94 games. The team had the best offense in baseball. Like, and my boy Joey was like, yo, who paid you to drink the Yankees Kool-Aid? I'm like, nobody. I'm not even working at the Fan. Like, like it's not like WFAN is making me drink the Yankee Kool-Aid, but I started thinking about it too. And I'm like, listen, the logic behind the Blue Jays being a tiebreaker away, right? The tiebreaker difference, one game flipping the entire postseason. I actually believe that. And baseball is a sport like that, where you can justify things and say, hey, you know, if they didn't get swept by the Miami Marlins, maybe the Yankees are the ones not playing in the first round, wild card round, 3 games. And then they are the ones hosting the divisional round, the first 2 games at home, where they could have lined up their pitching for that. You know how I know I'm talking to baseball fans in here. I know there's baseball fans in the TikTok chat and in YouTube and in Twitter. I'm going to get to you guys after I finish Cashman's thought. But like, I started to actually believe that. I started to actually come around and say, you know what, even though I was disappointed, I went to all the postseason games, it sucked. I was actually starting to say, yeah, you know what? They were this close to, you know, one of Doctor Strange's different realities being reality. One game would have been a difference from flipping everything. But now that I see Cashman talking about, I disagree, it's the same team. It is, bro. The lineup is pretty much the same. And you did not go out and add a new player that is going to impact the team every day. Who is the player? Jose Caballero, who you added at the trade deadline, who's going to be there because Volpe is hurt. Like, you added Ahmed Rosario, who's going to sometimes play against lefties if Ryan McMahon can't cut it. And that's another thing, too. We'll get to it. We'll go to Fangraphs, and we'll go to each individual player, and we'll talk through that. I do believe some players can have better years. Austin Wells has to have a better year. Ryan McMahon having a full spring training, opening day, a full first year as a Yankee after that warm-up that he had, and I think he can have a better year. Ben Rice will be your starting first baseman, and don't let them sign Paul Goldschmidt, because if they sign Paul Goldschmidt, then we're really running it back. All right, let me finish Cash's thought here. And then we'll go through and we'll walk through these little things. Johnny Lane says Ryan can't hit. I know. I'm telling you guys, I think I saw him hit a home run against the Nationals last year, but I forget who we were playing. And his bat speed was so slow. I'm just watching him like the ball is getting by him, and I feel like he's like not taking the bat off his shoulder. I'm like, I was in Legends behind the dugout. And I'm looking at this guy. I'm like, how is this guy not catching up to fastballs? Is he a major league player? Is he still in Mile High? Is he stuck in Denver? And then the Mile High pipeline continues because they go and get that 7 ERA pitcher. And like, to me, Cashman, bro, don't say that. Like, when they ask you about running it back with the team, don't even mention a 7 ERA reliever that's got good stuff and a fastball, another Matt Blake project. Don't even mention that. Own it. Don't even mention that. Don't piss on my head and tell me it's raining by saying, we added a arm from Colorado. It's not the same team. How much is that guy going to pitch in a week with the bullpen budget? Let's finish what Cash had to say. Sorry, I'm getting pissed off. But like, you guys have started to pull me down with you. You did it. I was sitting in here talking about, man, we can applaud Cody Bellinger signing. We knew they weren't going to go get Imai. We knew they weren't going to get Michael King. We knew they weren't going to get Kyle Tucker. They told you they didn't think Bo Bichette was a fit. Not at that price. Not at what the Dodgers paid Kyle Tucker. They damn sure weren't going to go and get Edwin Diaz. But nah, some of you were furious. And just watching this press conference and the Yankee arrogance that I speak about popping back up. Yeah, some of y'all pulled me right back down. All right, here, let's play Cash, and then we'll move on from this part of the conversation.
The Toronto Blue Jays, the defending American League champs.
Yeah, the Toronto Blue Jays added.
Which they've earned everybody's respect in the industry, so we're all gunning for them, first and foremost, in the division as well as the league.
Yeah, they whooped our ass last year in the regular season and postseason.
Dodgers possess is the World Championship trophy, but not afraid to run the quality of talented roster of players that we do have. I think we've been consistent with that throughout the entire winter. Anytime I've been openly willing to challenge anybody that we don't have a championship caliber roster and team.
I've been openly willing to challenge anybody that we don't have a championship caliber roster and team. I hate to bring up the Dodgers, but the Dodgers won back-to-back World Series. They have multiple rings on multiple fingers on multiple players on their team. And they are the model of what you do in Major League Baseball. And don't get me wrong, I've done a ton of streams and podcasts and radio appearances about their TV loophole, about the deferrals. But listen, they got better. They didn't sit on their hands. They're not content. They needed a closer and another outfielder. They went out and got the best available. Edwin Diaz, come on down. Yeah, we'll take Kyle Tucker too. And they did it stealth. They did it quietly. They did it like, y'all thought we were finished? Y'all thought we were good? You thought we weren't trying to three-peat? And to me, the New York Yankees should have two things on their mind. Obviously, ending their own drought, because we're getting close to the longest drought in the history of the Yankees' existence between championships. So obviously winning the World Series is the goal every single year. That should be first and foremost on their mind. But the second thing in the back of their mind should be protecting their own history. The Yankees are the last team to three-peat. And I know it was a long time ago. Trust me, I was in elementary school. But like that should be in the back of your mind too. Like, yo, let's go avenge our loss to the Dodgers. That should be the third thing, right? Win the World Series. It's been 16 years. You need to win the World Series. You don't want to hit that 17, 18-year drought, right? Third thing, protect your own history. Don't let another team three-peat so you can stay the last team to three-peat. And then fourth, avenge your loss. Oh, and then 5, win now, because we don't know what we're about to walk into after this lockout. We don't know what is about to happen. We don't know what is about to go down. We don't know. I think a salary cap is coming. I know the players don't want one. I think a work stoppage is possible because December 1st, they're locking out no matter what. But I feel like it's going to take them a long time to come to an agreement. And what the Dodgers are doing, they obviously have to be stopped. I think like them winning a third World Series in a row probably makes it even more inevitable that like they're going to want a salary cap. They're going to want to change things. But anyway, let's move on here. I think the team is slightly different from last year, but they're running it back. I knew they were running it back when they decided to give Trent Grisham the qualifying offer, and he took it. I understand that Garrett Cole is coming back, but when? When? Anybody in the chat know exactly when Garrett Cole is going to be on the mound? I'd like to buy tickets for that game right now. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Rodon is going to be back at some point. We're hoping Cam Schlittler is what we saw from him at the end of the year, but like not for nothing. You've seen this in every kind of sport. The book wasn't out on him yet. I mean, the book is he's going to, fill up the zone. He's going to throw hard, but like, and I believe he's going to be good, but I just can't bank on like, yeah, he's an ace. Ben Rice playing first base every day. It's a liability. What is Luis Heel? What is Will Warren? What is, I don't know, Ryan Weathers? Max Fried, I'm not too worried about. I think Max Fried, Act 2, is going to be Max Fried. But, Judge is playing in the World Baseball Classic. And I just saw, Brian Hoke put out something, I think, about Judge. Let me see if I can go to that. I don't know what it is, bro. I always get the freaking itches, the itchy nose when I think it might be these lights or something, bro. Maybe it's a nervous tick. I'm not even nervous. There's no reason for me to be nervous. I'm in the crib. There's not even that many people watching. We got 42 people watching on TikTok, 279 people watching on YouTube. And again, you know me. I say I'd do the same show. I'd do the same stream if it was 2 people or 2 million. But I have this like thing that goes off where I'm like always itching my nose when it comes time to rock. Karan says my Jets suck. All I got is the Yankees. Yeah, at the end of this stream, I'm gonna probably talk about the whole John Gruden thing, Brian Duker, and what the hell is Aaron Glenn doing, bro? Why do you got to call the play? Anyway, we'll get to the Jets and the Giants at the end because I saw Cliff Kingsbury is potentially going to be the offensive coordinator for the Giants, or at least he's going to interview or something like that. So I think him and Dart together would be fire. I think they would cook. When you think about Cliff Kingsbury, I mean, he had Patty Mahomes. He had Kyler Murray. He had Jaden Daniels. Jackson Dart, do. Astral United Unlimited. Astral Unlimited said, Keith, who's your NFL team now? The Seahawks? The 12s? I'm rocking with the Seahawks. I'm officially a Okay, let me see. So going back to what I was saying about Judgy, like this whole run it back proposition, this whole we're good. We like the team that we have. We think we're a championship caliber team. It's good until, what can go wrong will go wrong. And what I'll say about this too is like no two seasons are alike. So that can benefit us, Yankee fans, right? Last season sucked through June and July. You got the Boone, June swoon, and July you cry. Let me show this again. So let me zoom in here on Brian Hoke's tweets. Cody Bellinger said he'd like to play in the World Baseball Classic at some point, but during his career, but this probably won't be the year. I did see Cody Bellinger say something along the lines of like, this commitment that the Steinbrenners made to him. Like he's going to get I don't know. He's getting more money than Judge in this first year in his contract. I want to say he's getting like $70 million this first year because of signing bonus and what he signed for. But Cody Bellinger said that he won't be playing. But Aaron Judge's elbow is doing really well. Wait, what you mean? Doing really well? Aaron Judge's elbow should be 1,000% at this point. It's about to be February. Aaron Judge's elbow is doing really well as he ramps up throwing in preparation for the World Baseball Classic. Aaron Boone said, he looks great. Oh, my goodness. I don't even want to speak on it, bro. I don't even want to say it. I'm not even going to say what I was going to say. Good luck, Judge. Good luck, Team USA. Kill it. But take it easy. Take it easy. It's not that serious. If the United States doesn't win, then we don't win. If Japan wins or Puerto Rico, let them have it, bruh. We got bigger fish to fry around here. Don't even sweat it, bro. Don't even sweat it. Anthony Volpe is working his tail off at the Tampa complex as he rehabs from surgery, Brian Cashman said. The Yankees have previously said they don't expect Volpe back until after April. I've been telling people May. I've been telling people May because, as you recall, Volpe barely had any AAA games and experience. His whole, development was impacted by COVID. And I just feel like this time around, why are you rushing Anthony Volpe back? Unless Caballero is trash. And I also put a thought out there recently. Oswaldo Cabrera should be working out exclusively at shortstop and first base. Don't need him in the outfield. Don't need him at second base. Don't need him at third. Oswaldo Cabrera should be getting his reps between first base and shortstop. We've seen him. We've seen him play first base in the ALDS in 2024 against the Royals. Get the start. It was him and John Birdie, right? He should be working on shortstop. He should be working on first base because then it gives us somebody behind Ben Rice. And then I'm worried about the catching position because if Ben Rice is your everyday first baseman, you can't be asking that young man to catch. Where is the right-handed hitting catcher to back up Austin Wells? Where is that coming from? It's probably going to be some old scrub that we're not thinking of. It's probably going to be a bum. It's probably going to be somebody that we like. It's probably going to be somebody that we're not thinking of, we don't care about. Anyway, let me get to the chat, and then we'll get to... I want to go player by player. I want to go to Fangraphs and just remind people, right? And this is mostly going to be Yankees in this stream, and then I'll get to the football at the end. But I want to go player by player, the seasons they had. Can they improve or just stay the same? What do we think? I want to go to the team's offense and where they ranked, just to remind people, because they lost a lot of games off the back of Devin Williams, Luke Weaver, Mark Leiter Jr., Jonathan Loizaga. With that being said, let me go back to Steve. Steve had something in the chat that he hit us with. Steve from Freehold said, I saw a stat today. Luke Weaver had 35 hold opportunities and only converted 18. So Luke Weaver, sorry for cursing. It gets me mad, bro. You mean to tell me that Luke Weaver was a 50-50 proposition and the Yankees threw him into the game against the Red Sox that we lost and threw him into the game against the Blue Jays that we lost? He was like, they couldn't wait to get him in those games in the postseason. We lost 2 games in the postseason where he gave it up in the postseason. He was a 50-50 proposition. The Yankees didn't have those numbers. He was a coin flip. I don't know. You know what that used to be. RIP to what the kids used to do with that. Coin flip is this. Luke Weaver was a coin flip. And the Yankees, with the season on the line, with all of our hearts on the line, all of our hopes and dreams and wants on the line, bring Weaver in. Gotta be joking. Skits requested to join as a guest. Skits, no, we're not. DM me. I don't know who you are, Skits. Maybe one day we can do a live. I know TikTok is promoting doing these lives together with people. I know TikTok is promoting these pairing up. But I got a whole agenda here. I got a whole run of show here, and I got people that are not on TikTok watching this on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. So trying to give them some love over there in the chat. Steve is watching from YouTube, and Ray said, own it. No, Ray said, I own it. They are running it back. I own it too. When people talk to me, like, they're running it back because they think the team was good last year, and they're hoping that, they're better this year without Marcus Stroman starting games and Carlos Carrasco starting games. Let's see. To me, he never owns stuff. That's why I said, I tweeted out, don't piss on my head and tell me it's raining, because that's what the Yankees do. No, it's raining. No, it's not what you think. It's not what you think. Joe Has Gas said Cash's volume is a little low. Yeah, I also was playing it from my headphones. By now, if you're a Yankee fan and you haven't heard what Cashman had to say, go to Yankee videos on Twitter, look it up. And you guys don't really need to hear it. You guys heard the gist of it from me. And really, it's the reaction to it. It's like typical Yankees. Instead of just owning it and saying, yeah, we like our team. We think we're pretty decent. Actually, I think I did see something like that. Oh, I think Aaron Boone said that. Let's pull up Boone's comment. Because I don't like this. I mean, it is what it is. And I'll turn this one up louder. I'll play this one from Aaron Boone. Oh, here we go. Here is your Yankee manager in year 9. Let me turn it up.
I mean, I think.
All right, I'm going to blast this. It's all the way up on Twitter. I'll turn my headphones all the way up and hear what Aaron Boone has to say about his 2026 Yankee team. In 5, 4, 3, 2.
You've been pretty consistent these past few months that you guys were going into the offseason with a good roster in place. What would you say to some fans who may have concerns that you guys appear to be mostly running it back with a roster that couldn't get it done in the playoffs?
Yeah. I mean, I think, I've talked to a lot of you guys about this, at the end of last year, in so many ways, it's as good as I felt about our team heading into the postseason in the years that I've been here. Obviously, we got beat up in the division round. It didn't go our way, but that doesn't mean it's not going to go our way the next time. Like, we think we're really good. It's a long ways away. Doesn't mean we're going to go win 94 games again. Doesn't mean we're going to win 88. But we think we have the pieces. We're going in with a lot of the guys that we brought in as kind of support pieces too, that we brought in at the trade deadline last year as reinforcements. We're going into the season with a lot of those guys in place. So I feel like our roster flexibility is better night in and night out going in. Obviously we're going to have some people returning to the mix. We're so looking forward to getting Garrett back in the mix. And,
Yeah, Garrett Cole.
at some point in the first half of the season, and obviously
in the first half of the season.
Full seasons of some of the guys that kind of came of age for us in the rotation. We're excited about how
Cam
a lot
Schiller,
of the guys
Will
like a
Warren.
Louis Heel looks coming into spring already.
I do not know what Luis Hill's going to
So,
look like.
it's no guarantees. But I'm really excited to go to battle with this group. Like, I think we have a chance to be really good. The East is always good, right? But and it feels like a lot of those teams have gotten better. We know the Orioles are going to be much better. Boston continues; their young guys continue to develop. Toronto's obviously the defending American League champs.
Stop talking about them.
And
They
Tampa's
spanked y'all.
always really good. So
it wasn't close.
It's going to be a grind. There's no guarantees ever. But our plan is to go get back to the postseason and try and go win a world championship.
Right,
and I think we have a roster that is capable of doing that potentially. But again, it's January. We got
we're under 2 weeks till pitchers and catchers report.
A lot of things to accomplish to get to that point. But I'm excited to take our chances with this group for sure.
Yeah, okay.
You've been pretty consistent these.
Okay. I'm slightly less excited hearing how excited they are. Isn't that fucked up? Like, I'm slightly less excited because you're excited. because Boone and Cashman are excited, I'm slightly less excited. I just think we know they're good, but we're trying to be great. We know they're good, but a couple injuries and you could be mid. We know you're good, but even when you're good, even when you win 94 games, we watch you blow it over and over and over and over. Not just in the postseason. Obviously, that's the inevitable end. But we watch you struggle in June. Like, I watched you guys, and now here comes the fun part. Here comes the fun part, guys. Let's go back to last year. Let's go back to, and I get it. It's not the same team as last year. You're not going to see Pablo Reyes at third base. Ding. You're not going to see Yorbit Vivas get thrown out by Ronald Acuna Jr. from deep right field. Ding. You're not going to see Oswald Peraza bat 188. You're like I already joked about. There will be no starts from Marcus Stroman. There will be no starts from Carlos Carrasco. Oh, DJ LeMayeu's not on the team. So Jazz will play his true position the entire year. And Jazz had a 30-30 season, missing a month, but really two, because I think it was over a month, and Jazz talked about it. I remember seeing Jazz at Fanatics Fest, and I think I Show Speed challenged him to a race, and he said, when I'm fully healthy. But he had been back playing. So he had been back playing, but he wasn't fully healthy to really run. So it's not ridiculous to think that Jazz could have a 40-40 season, or at least be gunning for 30-30 and get it again. I don't think Judge is slowing down anytime soon. I think Judge is going for another MVP. I think Judge just checked another box, performing in the postseason. He did it. He batted 500. He's got a signature postseason moment. I mean, it was only 2 rounds, and they didn't ultimately get to another ALCS or World Series, but that wasn't Judge's fault. I blame stupid Trent Grisham that you guys wanted to give the $22 million qualifying offer to, who I don't believe in. I'm sorry. And I don't mean to call him stupid. I think it was just stupid to give the guy the qualifying offer. If you wanted to bring him back, you could have just let him test the market and come back to you with whatever deals he had. I don't know. And there's some people say, Keith, look at how much money Bo Bichette got. Look at how much money Kyle Tucker got. What do you think Trent Grisham would have got? I don't care. That's none of my business. I don't care I don't care. I don't care what he would have got on the free market. Because Harrison Bader got what did Harrison Bader get? Harrison Bader got a 2-year, $20 million contract, and they're paying Grisham more than that. And like the scary thing about Grisham is that he made $5 million last year in a prove it year. He proved it, but you got all the value. You got all the bang for your buck. You got a return on investment over and over and over. Now, when he regresses this year, what are you going to say? You're going to go back to last year and be like, oh, well, we gave him a raise. You had the 22 and the 5. You split it in as 13 and a half on 13 and a half for 2 years. I'm sorry, folks. I'm always excited for baseball. I'll see you guys at opening day. I'll see you guys at the stadium. We will be doing lives most likely during the game here. I'm going to live stream games more. I got a whole monitor right here. If you guys can see the monitor right here. That's got the TikTok chat and it's got my my little backdrop. We will be live streaming games, and there's a lot of folks that listen to me at night on WFAN that are like, yo, who am I supposed to listen to after the game? And I'm like, me. I will go live after the game. And what I plan on doing is how I had the, KM to AM. And I know, you're not supposed to tell people your plans, but whatever. How I had the KM to AM. KM to AM will become my Yankees post-game show. So, the game ends at 10 o'clock. We will talk about the game till midnight every night. We'll talk about the game till midnight, and then I'll carry my ass to sleep. Okay, so this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to go back to last year's schedule and see just if I can recall some of those games. Put your thinking caps on and get ready to time travel back to last year and some of the series and some of the games that were blown. And think about it. Just one game could have changed the Yankees' fate, and I think that's how they sleep at night. Instead of thinking about the mistakes that they made and how to change those things, I really think these dudes chalk it up to it could have been different if we only won one game. And I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to sell a fan base on that you're not improving. You're supposed to improve yourself, then prove yourself every year, no matter who you are, no matter what you do. I'm working on it right now, Alex says, what time are you on the Fan? At 7 tomorrow. I'm on tomorrow 7 to 9:20 before the Nets. It's probably going to sound like this. It's probably going to sound like this. I'm sure people are going to want to talk about the Yankees. And like I said, I was on last week and I was telling people, relax, chill, calm down. Y'all are tripping. You're bugging out. They got Cody Bellinger at their price, but to hear them talk about it, it doesn't inspire confidence in me. I think it's mid. I think it's okay, you think you have a good team until, and I don't want to speak ill on anybody. That's why I said I'm not even going to say it. But players get hurt every year. Players regress every year. Trent Grisham came into the training camp last year, spring training last year, had a hamstring injury. So what if his hammy acts up again? His defensive metrics were down last year. I saw a few fly balls go into the gap in left center field, go over his head that he couldn't get to. Mr. Casual Trent Grisham, everything's a can of corn, put it in his pocket. Okay. I need another right-handed bat. That's what I'm saying. Where's that right-handed catcher? Bro? And now you're seeing Yankees for clicks. The Yankees are going to go get C.J. Abrams. Sure, send him. The Yankees are going to go get Fernando Tatis. No, they're not. Then I started thinking about a conspiracy theory. Are they just specifically targeting guys with locks? Because last year they changed the beard policy. But now if they go get C.J. Abrams and Fernando Tatis, are they going to let guys have the long hair coming out of the back of their hats? I don't think so. I think it's just Yankees for clicks. Karan, keep the volume off, Boone, please. We're in a bad spot where Yankee fans do not even want to hear the voice of their manager, general manager. They don't want to hear it anymore. And I'm not caping for them either. I'm not coming in here and telling y'all anything else. If you're jaded, be jaded. If you hate the organization, hate the organization. It's just not the way that I roll. But I also was talking to some of the homies too. Like when I was younger, I never went to the stadium. We were poor. Nobody was going to the stadium. So the Yankees, to me, was a TV show I would watch at night or on the weekends during the day, and see them on SportsCenter. And so when I got older, I became obsessed with like once I got my first job in the city, I didn't even care about the job. I remember getting the job in March and being so souped up that like, yo, I think the Yankees played in Toronto that year to open the season in 2015 when I started working at MTV. But then after that, I was like, yo, I can go to the game. After work, I'm sliding to the game. I was young. I was single. I was living with my mom. So like, I used to always try and get people to come to the stadium with me, and people wouldn't go because I'm from the shore area. That's a far trek. But like when you're young, I got nothing but time. I much rather, I'm going to watch the game anyway. I much rather get out of work at 5:30, go to the stadium, watch the game, run out of the stadium, take the train to Penn Station, take the train home, or take the bus home from Port Authority. And if I end up going home and going to sleep at midnight, so be it. But what I'm saying is I stopped asking people to go to the game with me from my hometown, the shore area. And I started going to the game by myself more. And that's how I met the bleacher creatures. And that's how I met a lot of the regulars. And that's how I met a lot of the people that have season tickets that are at every homestand. And it's a different experience when you're part of the game going fan community stadium culture. It's a different experience when you go there, because when you're watching it on TV, you're, at least let me speak for myself. When I was watching it on TV, it's easy for me to be pissed off at home by myself, turn the TV off, throw the remote, be mad, yell, scream, whatever. These guys suck. They blew it. Can't believe they did this. What's this lineup? Whatever. But then there's a different level of like camaraderie and community when you go to the game and you're with other people. There's this shared experience. There's this bond. There's also this like shared misery when they lose. And that's why I say I understand. I understand some of the fans that are more so TV watching fans that are like, this is not it. I hate this team. They're never going to win anything. But there are some of us that are like, oh, we outside. We at the stadium. We're going. And we never left. We're going to go root the team on, and they better win, and they better figure it out. But what if they do not? All right. Why is Volpe still? Let's see. Vlay Boys 1395 says, why is Volpe still here, man? Volpe is very much their own. Volpe is very much their own. They drafted him. They developed him. They started him. They took Brett Gardner's number 11 jersey and put it on him. He wanted to wear 77. And even when he hurt his shoulder last year, they kept him in every single game. So why is Volpe still here? Because that's also part of the Yankee arrogance. He's our guy. We love him. He's our guy. And we're not going to give up on him. That's how they feel. That's how they feel. All right, I'm scrolling through the chat. Keith, glad I found you again. Big fan of your radio work. Here I am. And what I'll say is it was time for me to stop doing nighttime radio. But I'm very young in the industry. It's not the end of my career. Stay tuned. We'll see where I land. Extra Innings with Keith, sponsored by Kith. Kith don't sponsor anybody. You know Ronnie ain't on that. All right, hold on one second. I'm going to get some water. Let me throw up my little BRB. I'm going to get some water to, just quench my thirst. I was in the gym heavy today. We hit that 3 miles today. That's one thing. I always say that, bro. I always say, like, you can't be unemployed and out of shape. Or no, what would I say? You can't be out of work and out of shape. I chose to be out of work. I will never choose to be out of shape. All right, so give me 1 minute here, and I just got to get some water, and I'll be back. Let me see. I'll leave you guys with I'll leave you guys with Cece Sabathia. Yo, Cece, hold it down, bruh. Hold it down, bruh. They can't see you. They can't see you. I'll be right back. Oh, and I'll leave y'all some beats. I'm always courteous. I appreciate it. Send the stream to a friend. Tell a friend. We're gonna go through the Yankees schedule from last season. We're gonna look at each player's individual performance and the team's overall performance in fan graphs to talk ourselves into that this is a really good team and that they can just run it back. And yeah, whatever. It is what it is, bro. Don't like. I'm telling you, though. If the Yankees don't come out of the gate playing well, it's gonna get loud. All right, here's the beats. Yeah. All right. I said we would be back, and I have returned. I don't tell you no lies. We're back. We're back.
Another one.
Quickly here. I want to send this user 729498520938283. Yes. The answer you're looking for is yes. I always forget to send this on Instagram. Like, yo, I'm live. Pull up. Let me do that right now. Copy link. I'm gonna go live till 6. So let's shoot a promo. Let's shoot like a little commercial. Everybody, ready? You're on camera, you guys. Ready? All right, boom. No, I wanted to do the hands free. Hands on the wheel. Yo, we live. We in there. We live. Got the TikTok chat. Got the Twitter chat. YouTube chat. And me mostly talking about the Yankees. Mostly talking about Brian Cashman and Aaron Boone. Just reacting to what they said. My whole thing with the Yankees is you gotta own it. If you're running it back, just say that. Tap in. All right. That's a quick little promo here for anybody on my Instagram. Like, yo, where Keith at? He ain't going live on Instagram. I say join the live till 6. Shout out to the subscribers on YouTube. Steady growing. Appreciate y'all on TikTok as well, even though TikTok is ass now. I knew it was glitching. I posted 2 videos over the weekend, had 0 views. I'm like, what the hell is this? Shout out to the 22 of you that have followed me on TikTok from this stream. And yeah, man, let's get back to talking about the Yankees, and we'll quickly end on some football thoughts. So, what I wanted to pull up is fan graphs. What I wanted to pull up is last year's schedule. So I think it's important for us to do that. Dan says, but I heard you last week on the Fan. I'll be on tomorrow. I will be on tomorrow at 7. So I guess user with all the numbers, did you leave the Fan? 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 The answer is yes, as far as being the full-time nighttime host. When you turn on the radio at night now, you hear After Hours with Tommy Lugauer, who I'm going to start calling Tommy Takes. Tommy's got some takes, boy, and they're taking on the internet. There's a lot of people writing and commenting, so he's doing something right. You hear Tommy Takes, no more KM to AM. Shout out to Tim. Shout out to user 343. Miss you on the Fan, brother. Big fan here. You'll hear me tomorrow, 7 to 9:20. And I'm still under contract, but I am a part-time host now. So I'm in the bucket with Danielle McCartan, Mark Malusis, Ricky Ricardo, Emmanuel Barbari, Al Cintrone. I'm in the part-time bucket. My contract is still good, and I decided to step down from the full-time nighttime role because I'm in the gym. I got to go to sleep. I got to recover. I'm trying to have a six-pack, abs, all. I'm trying to be out here. No, it was just time. It was time. I did 4 years of nighttime radio, and it was funny because I was listening to Michael K today, and shout out to the Caster, who said that the Yankees were 500 against 500 teams. And I'm like, is that true? But I was listening to the Caster talk about Mike McDonald, the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks, and he says that he only sees his son 30 minutes a week. Wouldn't be me. You need better time management, cuz. You need better time management, bro. And what the Caster said, he said he waited until he was 49 years old to get married. And then he waited even longer to have kids. So, like, Caster's kids are like 13 and 10. I think Callie and Charlie, Michael K. And I love Michael K. I can text Michael K right now and text me back. So I'm not saying anything talking out of school, but Michael K is 64. So he waited 2 years to have his first child at 51 years old. When I'm 51, my son's going to be 16 going on 17. Yo, my cousin Miles just hit me. He said, can't wait to see you in Jackson on Saturday, speaking on my son. Yo, can't wait. I'm recording a podcast Saturday, and you are gonna come watch me knock it down. I'll pick you up first. That's my little cousin. I'm really trying to, like, I'm the first person in my family to do literally anything. I'm the first one to be good at sports. First one to get a football scholarship, get any scholarship, and go to school. I'm the first one in my family to graduate from a 4-year college degree. First one in my family to take said degree. And actually, like, I went to school for communication, radio, and television. I'm the first one to actually get into the radio and television. Speaking of the podcast, if you're on TikTok, I'm not an artist, or I'm an artist, not a salesman. My guy Luis, we talking about the Yankees in here, bro. Big Yankee fan with a big podcast platform. He had me on it years ago, and now we're gonna kind of spin the block, and I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, about Caster talked about he wouldn't have been able to be the Yankee announcer. He wouldn't have been able to do 25 years of talk radio in New York if he had gotten married and had a kid. Now, I got married the summer of 2021, legally married June 30th, had our wedding July 10th. WFAN hadn't contacted me yet. I heard from WFAN like mid-August, maybe like August 10th. And then I had my WFAN audition August 25th, 2021. And then I didn't tell a soul, but I knew I was getting the nighttime spot in October, late October. I went to Puerto Rico on my honeymoon, which I didn't go on my honeymoon after our wedding because the All-Star game was going on in Colorado. So I took my wife to Colorado for a few days. We went out there. We went to Boulder. We went to Golden Bear. We did the whole Colorado thing. But then she's like, I want to go somewhere warm for like an actual honeymoon. So we went to Puerto Rico first week in November. And WFAN called me while I was out there, and they're like, yo, Steve Summers is ready to sign off. He wants to do his final schmooze. He wants us to tell everybody, like, when are you coming back? I'm like, yo, I'm not coming back for a few days. I'm like, I'm going to be here for another 2 days. Go ahead and run it. Go ahead and tell everybody. And what I'm saying is my marriage was brand new. Tune, they asking for you, bro. You want to pull up? Tune's not beat. My marriage hadn't even been a couple months old. Speaking of Tune, my wife went and got a cat because she's like, you're going to be leaving every night. I don't want to be here by myself. She went and got us a cat. Fast forward to 2023, my son is born, and I did 2.5 years of nighttime radio with a baby kicking and screaming and crying and fussing. And I'm a good dad. I take a lot of pride in being a good dad. I'm on it. Like, my son was up last night between 4:15 and 5:15 because he's potty trained now. And at night, some of the parents in here probably know, if there's any parents in here, at night you got to put an overnight diaper on them. You got to put a diaper on them so that they don't wet the bed. But now he is potty trained where he can't get out of the crib, but like he doesn't like the feeling of the wet diaper on him. So I woke up, I'm looking at the baby cam and I hear, Daddy, Daddy, Daddy. And I'm like, I go in the room and he's like, Daddy, I peed. I need you to change his diaper. I literally changed his diaper in the middle of the night, put another diaper on him so that he could like have a dry diaper and go back to sleep. Those are things you have to do. Imagine having to do that if you don't get home till 3 a.m. It makes it a little tough. All right. Anyway, let's go back to the Yankees schedule from 2025 here. And let's look at some of the games they blew. And let's think about this thing, right? Run it back with pretty much the same team. No two seasons are alike. But I think, they started off pretty decent in March. No, this is March 2025. We got to go to 2024. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. No, it was 2025 that just passed. We're in 2026. I'm like, we opened up with the Brewers. I see. We opened up with the Brewers late in the season. Opening day. We swept the Brewers. So right out of the gate, the Yankees are feeling like, hey, we got it. We put together a decent team. I remember losing those 2 games to the Diamondbacks, and people were blaming Devin Williams. Devin Williams against the Pirates should have beat him that last game. Lose 2 games to the Tigers, and then Max Fried stood up and got on the mound, and we avoided the sweep. Oh, those 2 games we lost to the Giants at home, Rodon. There's a lot of questionable losses in there. Great week in the middle of April. They win 5 in a row, sweeping the Royals and taking the first 2 from the Tampa Bay Rays. But then they dropped 2 in a row to the Guardians. And then the Blue Jays. I remember with this Blue Jays series, I went to that game that Friday, the 25th. Devin Williams blew that one too. And then as you get to May was fine, right? They lose a series to Tampa, but then they do beat the Padres. I remember that Padres series pretty well because the Knicks were playing at that time against the Celtics, I believe. And Dylan Cease and Max Fried had a pitcher's duel. They go out and beat the Athletics. They should beat the Athletics. The Mariners were cooking, and the Mariners came to the Bronx, and they beat them. And the only game the Mariners won was that 2-1 game, so you felt good about that. Subway Series, Juan Soto's return to Yankee Stadium. Yankees should have swept them. The only game they lost was that 3-2 game that Saturday. I was there. So, we're feeling good about the Yankees. They go and they sweep the Texas Rangers. Oh, and then here's a stupid one. I remember it was Memorial Day weekend. They lose to the Rockies 3-2. You can't lose one game to the Rockies. That's dumb. But then they bounce back. They win 5 in a row. They take 2 from the Rockies. They sweep the Angels. And then here is where it starts to pew. They got to go to the Dodgers. I remember we did an event, and we had people out in Brooklyn that Saturday. It was cold. We thought it was gonna be warm, but that game was over in the first inning with Will Warren on the mound. So they almost get swept by the Dodgers. They avoid the sweep. They get 1 win out of there. But then, man, this is the June Boone swoon, right? After beating the Red Sox, which the Red Sox, that first game, I was at that game too. I don't know. I think I went to like 40, 50 games last year. But what I remember is we got up on them early. And then after that, the Red Sox did not let up. Yep, if you can see here with the box score, and I'll zoom in. Remember, the Yankees scored 5 in the first inning, and then 2 in the second inning, and then that was enough because then the Red Sox in the 5th, 6th, 7th, they score 1, 3, and 2, and it's like, hey, wait a minute, like they're coming back, but we were able to hold them off. But then honestly, shit got crazy against the Red Sox because we started losing to them the rest of the way. So we had that opening game, but then we lose that Saturday and then Sunday. And then we go to Fenway, we get swept. What was that bozo's name that said his dad played for the Yankees and he was capping? Dustin? Nah, not Dustin May. What was Buddy's name? I remember that was an interesting story. Hunter Dobbins. Hunter Dobbins. What a character. That rascal Hunter Dobbins. What a funny guy. You make up a whole story like that. Anyway, he shoved against us. So, even though they discontinued my live on TikTok, that's fine. Even though I forget to look on TikTok. If you're on TikTok going live and then like you walk away and you come back and you don't hit that puzzle piece, they'll get your ass. But whatever, they can't see this schedule. Then you lose 3 in a row to the Angels. Like, this is what I'm talking about. And at home, remember they go on that losing streak and they had no offense. And we're like, what the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? Boone, June, swoon, right? Then they lose to the Reds. They go to Cincinnati, they lose the first 2 to the Reds. What the hell is going on? And then you know what? To start off July, Boxing Day, you go to the Rogers Center. Yeah, and the Blue Jays were ready for your ass. Swept them. The Blue Jays swept us 4 in a row. Couldn't beat them. And then that carries into the Mets series. You go and lose in Queens. And it's just bad. You're just limping into the All-Star break. Cody Bellinger has that one big game against the Cubs. And you lose 2 there into the All-Star break. Then you come out of the All-Star break and lose with Yorba Vivas getting the start because you don't have it. And then you lose another series to the Blue Jays. You lose another series to the Phillies. So you go from the Boone, June, swoon to July, you go and cry. And I'm done. I'm done reliving this. I'm done rehashing this. But what I'm saying is I'm making a point. You're running back a team, and I know it was a different team, right? All that was before the trade deadline. But you're essentially running back a team that they weren't a juggernaut. They weren't that dominant. They didn't just steam roll through Major League Baseball. So why are you so confident that like they're a championship caliber team and you'll fight anybody on it? I think it's because of things like this. So let's go to Fangraphs, and I'll cue it up before we get there. Fangraphs. Let's go to leaders in batting 2025. Share screen here. The Yankees are analytical. The Yankees and their numbers. The Yankees will dive into these numbers. I need the pop-up blocker, bro. I need to freaking turn on. How do I turn on this pop-up blocker? I'll figure it out later. There's hella pop-ups on this fucking Fangraph site. That's why I don't even be on here. But like, actually I want teams. Go to teams batting. I remember being on air at WFAN and going to this. When you go to Fangraphs and you just look at overall teams, Who's at the top? The Yankees. So they feel like the team that we had last year is good. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They feel like this Yankees team is ready to go. And I do feel some parts of the like cohesion. I do understand that like there's something to be said about chemistry. I do understand that running it back can be good instead of blowing it up or adding different personalities to a clubhouse where you're not going to know how they mesh, you know. Everybody was so sure Juan Soto was going to join the Mets and they were going to go back to the NLCS and beat the Dodgers, and look at how that blows up in their faces. It's just like it's a chemistry project. It's a science experiment. And I do understand the Yankees saying we're not going to play too much with the science experiment. You know, this is Aaron Judge's team. This is Garrett Cole's team. This is Giancarlo Stanton's team. Those guys are the leaders. We have players in between like Jazz Chisholm, like Trent Grisham, like Cody Bellinger, who can be star players. We have young up-and-coming players like Austin Wells, Ben Rice, Cam Schlittler, Anthony Volpe, Jason Dominguez, Spencer Jones, anyone? Like, they feel like they have a good nucleus of veteran leaders, you know, guys that have done it long enough that are stars. And then even guys like Rodon and Max Fried. And they can always add at the trade deadline. And then they did add at the trade deadline. Like, David Bednar gives me more confidence going into this season than Devin Williams. Prayers up for him to have a healthy World Baseball Classic as well. But let's go to, you know, each player on the Yankees. Let's go to roster. Let's go to stats, actually. Like, this is why they feel good about the team. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. They go to sleep at night looking at the numbers and say, okay, it's baseball, Susan. The ball didn't bounce our way in a couple games, and it cost us. The ball didn't bounce our way in the postseason, and it cost us. But these underlying numbers are like, we have Aaron Judge, the best hitter in the game. He hit 53 homers last year. You know, he had a 1145 OPS. We have Trent Grisham, who a lot of us don't believe in because we really have no choice but to look at his past history. And even like, you know what's crazy? If you're looking at the cursor here, let me see if I can make this bigger. Zoom in. Does that make it bigger? It does. The crazy thing about Trent Grisham is if he doesn't hit those 34 home runs, he's got 9 doubles. It's not like he's ripping doubles. You know, 116 hits, okay. But he's home run or single. And they think he can duplicate it. An 812 OPS. Jazz Chisholm, another 812 OPS, 813 OPS, another 30-plus bombs. He had 31. Jazz should have a good amount of doubles, too, with his speed. But, like, again, he was hurt. Then Cody Bellinger, damn near 30 home runs. Maybe he can get to 30 this year. A 418 OPS. You know, 272 average. That's one thing I'll say about Cody Bellinger, too, is, like, he is one of those guys that they look at and they say, yo, you know, you guys talk about we need more contact. We need guys that'll, you know, put the ball in play. Cody Bellinger is a guy that will put the ball in play. He's got a 2-strike approach. He won't just be going for the home run or nothing. I want to believe, obviously, because I'm a Yankee fan, I want to believe that their approach is going to be different this year. That it's not going to just be swinging out of their shoes. But then when they do get into the postseason, home runs win you those games. So when you're looking at how many guys they had, just like right here, boom. And even, I mean, Anthony Volpe won't do it because he's not going to have enough time this year. But he was almost the next guy. They almost had 8 guys with 20 home runs or more. Austin Wells didn't have a great year. 219 average. But like he should be a 20, 25 home run guy. Stanton barely played. That's the outlier with Stan, right? Stan had 77 games and hit 24 home runs. Is he healthy? They're banking on him being healthy. So I get it, bro. I get it, bro. They're saying run it back. Ben Rice, the first year that we got to really see Ben Rice as an everyday player, obviously he DH'd a bunch because Stanton was hurt. Now I just hope that he's working on that glove and scooping. They look at Ben Rice, it's like, yo, this guy could be an all-star. We were thinking he could be an all-star last year. He's another year older, another year of experience. What's Volpe going to be? I don't know. Dominguez, I don't know. They may bring back Paul Goldschmidt. Ryan McMahon will have a full year with the Yankees. Jose Caballero as well. Let's not forget that Oswaldo Cabrera is back. And Ahmed Rosario is there. And who else am I forgetting? I don't know. I don't know who else I didn't mention. I think I mentioned everybody. You know who I didn't mention? I didn't mention the right-handed bat that they're going to get, the right-handed hitting catcher that they need. Can you find me, and maybe one of you guys that are like, I don't consider myself a baseball geek, a baseball nerd, and I don't make fun of those guys either. I appreciate y'all. I am a former jock. I am also someone that watches football, basketball, baseball, and hockey now. So like I'm never that deep in it, but like who is the right-handed hitting catcher that also can play first base that the Yankees can either sign or trade for? Who is that guy? Who's that guy? All right, let me go back to the chat. Chef Mamba in here. Yeah, y'all remember we want all the smoke. We should. We should. I mean, I don't know, man. It all depends on if the Yankees get out the gate, bro. They got to get out the gate. They got to get out of the gate. I know it was close, but close doesn't get you the wins, right? Those wins add up, those losses add up, and they never keep a stat for like, oh, Yankees led in this game or Yankees should have won. It's just like those games cost us inevitably. Those games cost us, and I'll say this again, you know, all of those games cost us potentially another trip to the World Series and maybe winning it because the Yankees feel like they played the Dodgers better than the Blue Jays. They feel like, I mean, I don't think that's true. The Blue Jays should have won it, but it was a tiebreaker that decided the seeding, and the Yankees feel like if they were one game better, they would have won the division. They would have been the 1 seed. They would have been able to rest during the wild card round. They would have hosted division round. They would have been able to line up their pitching however they saw fit. And they did not get to do that. So, like, fingers crossed. Again, I will tell you, no 2 seasons are alike. And no 2 seasons are alike. And what can happen will happen. People forget what a big chemistry guy Oswaldo Cabrera was. Oh, yeah. Huge loss last year will make a difference this year. We solidify the bullpen, we'll be okay. Yeah, I mean, they just added another arm to the bullpen. I don't know the guy's name. It's not like I'm not acting like I know a 7 ERA reliever from Colorado. I don't. When I first saw him, I was like, is this the guy that celebrates it? Like, I remember Colorado had a guy that would like jump up and down, like jump off the mound and celebrate. Let me see. What is his name even? Angel Chavili. Yeah, Angel Chavili. So, but yes, Oswaldo always has a smile on his face. Everybody loves him. He lightens the mood. He's never mad. He's never down. And I see him, like I said, backing up Cabrera or Caballero at short. Cabby and Cabby 2.0. They call Oswaldo Cabrera Cabby, but also Caballero is Cabby. But then I also see him maybe spelling Ben Rice at first. And there's the answer. When I said, who's the first baseman catcher? Who's the right-handed hitting catcher that can Gary Sanchez, El Kraken, but they'll never bring him back. There's no chance they bring Gary back. A 0% chance that they bring Gary back. I love your show. Don't be so negative because this team will look a whole lot different at the trade deadline. No, I know. If anything, I've been Mr. Positivity this offseason telling people to relax. But what I was saying is today I joined some of the other people because I agreed with people's reaction to what Cashman and Boone had to say. It gave me those vibes of don't piss on my head and tell me it's raining. Just own it. Just say you're running it back. It does not hurt to say you're running it back. You know, it does not hurt to say, yeah, we like the team that we have. We're confident in them. It's pretty much the same team. Don't cite that you got Angel Sevilli and you've got guys coming off the IL and Garrett Cole's coming back. We know. But for the most part, the core of this team is the same. The lineup is the same. So, all right, football to close here. I do want to talk a couple football things that I spotted out there. First off, I'm going to speak on the Jets. This whole Jets situation is a mess. But cheer up, Jets fans. The more of a mess it is, the more unlikely it is that you're going to win games, and that is the only thing to look forward to. I know you don't want to tank another whole season. I know you don't want to be miserable, but the Jets need to lose so they can fire Aaron Glenn, and the Jets need to lose so that they can draft a quarterback. Jets are doing what they always do. You know, the Jets are doing what they're always doing. They're jetting. They're finding ways to jet. They're a mess. They don't know right from left, left from right, and they're going to be cooked. Aaron Glenn won't survive, and they'll fire him, and then they'll get whoever they want to get, and that coach is going to come in with the top pick, or maybe a top 2 or 3 pick, and there's a bunch of quarterbacks coming out. They'll get their quarterback of the future. The whole thing with like Wink Martindale was coming here. Wink Martindale, let me see if I can even find some of this stuff, right? Like Aaron Glenn is going to call the plays now. They don't actually land Wink Martindale. Wink Martindale lived around here, right? You would think Wink Martindale would want to come back. You would think Wink Martindale would be a shoo-in for that job. You know, so Connor Hughes reported that Martindale and Glenn began discussing a partnership, and that was in December with talks heating up. The plan was to have Martindale run the defense. Martindale flew to Florham Park for an in-person interview that was believed to be a formality to dot the I's and cross the T's. Upon his arrival, talking to sources close to the situation, the plan they discussed between him and Glenn changed. The Jets head coach said he wanted to call the defensive plays. What a joke. What an actual joke. Like, does anyone think that Aaron Glenn, who could barely coach last year, in his second year should be handling the defensive play calling duties and being the head coach? It's a mess. It's stupid to me. Like, why wouldn't you have Wink Martindale come in and run that so that's one less thing that you really have to worry about? You fired Steve Wilkes and the defense got worse. Their team, they're going to suck. But whatever, Pam said it, Jets suck. They got to suck. And I guess they're just setting themselves up to be that trash. Now, they ended up going with Brian Duker. I'd never heard of this guy. Not that it matters. I don't know every single guy, but like, usually when you're trying to go about your business in the offseason, you get after it earlier, and they waited so long, and it seems like they defaulted into this Brian Duker, 36 years old, from the Dolphins, and he reunites with Aaron Glenn. He used to be with the Lions. And it says Jets defensive coordinator Brian Duker is expected to bring safety Ashton Davis with him to New York. Ooh. Oh. Barton Carlin, let's see. This is Aaron Glenn saying he wants to go down with the philosophies. Why is Glenn looking for a coordinator if he's going to be the DC? I don't know. But yeah, there's your man from Miami, Brian Duker. I just think it's funny how this has all shaken out. They have no plan at all. They're freestyling this. But I heard someone say the other day, like the Mets felt like they were freestyling their offseason, and look at how that came together. Okay, so Frank Wright, local guy. And, some people were saying that Frank Wright could be the next guy. Frank Wright has been out of the league for a little bit. Let's play this. Let's see.
If Frank Wright comes in, then he can put all his attention to the defensive side. So when will we hear something about an offensive coordinator? I know they brought in Greg Roman and some other guys that may have a brand name that can offer some of the same things that Frank does, but how close are we to getting an answer to that?
I could see it pretty soon. It actually wouldn't surprise me if something gets done today, because I think it was Friday, I want to say, or maybe Monday. My days are all mixed right now with how crazy this offseason's been. I had heard the Jets, but this was before Tanner got let go. So before Tanner got fired, I had heard that the Jets and Frank were already talking contract. Like, they were already getting through the nitty gritty of it. Once they let Tanner go, and now they are filling a offensive coordinator vacancy, you need to go through the Rooney Rule requirements, which means interviewing 2 minority candidates.
What a joke.
Among those interviews that the Jets had the other day, like, they've now satisfied the Rooney Rule. So now they can move forward and make a hire. The reason
The
why
Rooney
Frank
Rule is
wasn't
the
hired
joke.
or anything like that is they now, once Tanner was gone, they had to go through the Rooney Rule. They've done that, so now they can make a hire pretty quick. And it honestly wouldn't surprise me if it's today or tomorrow.
Yeah, the Rooney Rule is a joke, right? Because, one, the Jets are late on this. Tanner Engstrand, first-time offensive coordinator this year, had no quarterback, walks into a mess. He's told that they're going to go in a different direction. They fire him late. And now that they fire him and they need to find a new guy, if it's Frank Wright, it's so late in the process to be like, okay, we're going to go and hire Frank Wright, but we got to satisfy the Rooney Rule. So now, not only do we need to bring in Frank Wright, we need to find 2 minority candidates to hire for the, shits and giggles of it. They're a mess. They're a joke. But whatever. It's all to get to that top pick. And I think Aaron Glenn knows he's dead man walking, so he's probably trying to do everything to cover his ass, save his ass. But I don't think it's going to work. The NFL is too competitive. Teams are too good. Players are too good. And I don't see it. I don't see it going their way. Even if I don't see it going their way. So the Giants have started to fill out their coaching staff. I think I talked about Wilson. I talked about a few different guys the last time I was on the stream, right? I talked about Denard Wilson with the Giants, former Titans defensive coordinator. And also the Giants hired Chris Horton coming from the Ravens. Well, now after Todd Monken goes to take the head coaching job with the Browns, which nobody wanted that Browns job. And he's probably looking at it as, I stay in the division. I know this division. And this may be my only opportunity to get a head coaching job. I'm taking it. And if I can make some things happen there people are saying Shador, and I'm a Shador supporter. But are we sure Shador is the starting quarterback the whole season next season? Deshaun Watson's supposed to be back and cleared to play. They already started Dylan Gabriel over him once. People keep making it a Shador Sanders thing. I guess that comes with the the Pro Bowl nod and being Shador Sanders. But what I am going to next is something that I think is a very interesting wrinkle in the offensive coordinator search now that Todd Monken is not joining John Harbaugh. Jordan Ronan reported one of the names he's heard that is going to be of interest is Cliff Kingsbury. If the Giants are able to get Cliff Kingsbury and pair him up with Jackson Dart, I think they cook. I think Dart goes to another level. I think this is a young guy that gets it, a former quarterback, a guy that has had multiple quarterbacks. I was saying earlier in this stream, let's see, likely to be interested. Cliff Kingsbury is someone that is likely to be interested in the Giants job. He should. I don't think he's getting a head coaching job. And I'll say this. Cliff Kingsbury had Pat Mahomes in college. He had Kyler Murray. He had Jaden Daniels. And now you get another mobile quarterback that can make plays like Jackson Dart. They will cook. And I think Cliff Kingsbury left the Commanders mess thinking that maybe he could get an opportunity as a head coach after what he did with Jaden Daniels last year. Now, 2 years ago, I think the clear path for Cliff Kingsbury to get back into the NFL as a head coach is to take this offensive coordinator job with the Giants, cook with Jackson Dart, help lead them to the playoffs, and then somebody's going to come calling next year. I can see it. I can see it. Sanders to the Jets. The Browns do need to trade him. I don't know if the Jets would trade for him. They passed on him a bunch of times. I don't know. Like, if you're going to trade for a quarterback, trade for a good one. And, like, I love Shador. They told me bust out my AP, perfect time, and I love Shador. But, like, if you're going to give up assets for a quarterback, go get a proven one. If you're going to trade for a quarterback, go get a good one. And, like, I'm not saying that Shador sucks because he's young in his career and he can get better. He can improve. But I don't think that's the answer for the Jets unless they're trying to really actually tank. Because Shador threw more interceptions than touchdowns. His passer rating was super low. I know they won some games, but they won games on the back of that defense. They won games on the back of that defense for real. The Bill Belichick stuff, I'll pull up. I think it's obvious that the fix was in with Bill. And I think if, you know, I was on Jay Reel's stream yesterday, and once we put 2 and 2 together about Robert Kraft being on, you know, the ballot and him trying to get in, I'm like, oh yeah, Robert Kraft definitely did something, you know. But I understand. I feel like there's tension there. I feel like these two legends, they work together for a little while, but they don't really rock with each other. And Robert Kraft probably wants his own stage, probably wants his own shine, especially now as the owner, right? Especially now after they're back in the Super Bowl without Bill. And I'll say these things about Bill. Spygate, yeah, whatever. Deflategate, that's Tom Brady, but yeah, whatever. Did the team suck once Brady wasn't there? Yeah, whatever. This guy has won 8 Super Bowls. He's got 8 Super Bowl rings, 2 as a coordinator and 6 as a head coach. Like, all we do is talk about winning championship, Super Bowl. It's not a good look. But I also understand it's not a good look to, you know, be his age and have a 25-year-old girlfriend that's got you pee whipped and wrapped around her finger. It's not a good look for you to be this all-time great coach and then you drop down to college and you can't get the Tar Heels together. You can't get UNC right. And the way that Bill was with the media and the writers, very standoffish, not friendly, not kind. I heard there was a writer today that said he didn't give him his vote because there were players that had this ballot as their last ballot. And so he voted for the players versus a coach because he knows Bill will get in, but he doesn't want these guys left off that are never going to get another chance again. So whatever, man. He's snubbed, and so is Eli Manning. Hold on, let me make sure I don't lose power here. I got so many wires and whatnot. I was like, my power wasn't, my MacBook charger wasn't plugged in. I was looking at I had 16% battery. I was like, oh no. What else in the NFL? Super Bowl I'm excited for. If you follow me, I will be at a Super Bowl party in Brooklyn. And I think I'm going to host a party. I think they're throwing me a mic, and they need somebody with the polished radio voice, and I'm excited for that. You guys will see that content when I'm out there on Super Bowl Sunday. I'm back on the Fan tomorrow. Oh, look at this breaking news as we are live. The Eagles. Just in, the Eagles are hiring former NFL QB Sean Mannion as their offensive coordinator. A rapid rise for Mannion, who has been in coaching for the last 2 years and spent last season with the Packers as their QB coach. I don't know if that's good, yo. I don't know if that's good. You know, I was listening to guys talk about the lack of black head coaches and the lack of development of black head coaches, especially because these black coaches, a lot of them played. But it's just like anything else in this world. It is a buddy system. It's not what you know, it's who you know. Better yet, who knows you. And all it takes is a couple friends in common. They said Sean Mannion had been coaching 2 years. He's been in the league coaching quarterbacks for 2 years. He's an offensive coordinator for a team that won the Super Bowl last year. You know, something's fishy, right? Sounds sketchy, right? I'm about to tweet. This is who they landed on. Okay. Should have just kept the guy that you had and let him work another year. Oh, last but not least, we gotta play Joel Sherman. What the hell was Joel Sherman on, bro? Joel Sherman was tweaking, bro. I think it's a good way to end it too. You know, the Yankees now are gonna have over a $300 million payroll, sure. I think most of us didn't really lose sleep over the thought that they would not have a $300 million payroll. But you got to hear the main guy who wrote the article at the beginning of the offseason citing that the Yankees would stay under a $3 million payroll. I don't understand where this came from, but I'll elaborate on it some more after I play it. This came off hella cringe to me.
And again, most of the whiners are also people who were saying, well, they signed Grisham. That means that Hal's going to get cheap and not bring Bellinger back. Will any of those people shut the fuck up now? They will not shut the fuck up because they like that lane that's either stupid or they enjoy being stupid. Like, because they get attention.
Weird. I don't know. Look at
the fuck up now.
Look at Buddy's face. What's up with bro? What's up with you, bro? You all right? Like, this is confusing me.
They will not shut the fuck up.
Like, what's up with Buddy? You're the one that wrote the article suggesting that the Yankees had their own self-imposed $300 million payroll ceiling. And then you come out with this, will those people shut the F up now? Like, you're a journalist. You know a bunch of words. When you curse and use profanity, that's like, I don't know. It's like, you're better than that, right? There's other ways for you to articulate. There's other ways for you to articulate yourself. There's other ways for you to express yourself. You're articulate. I mean, like, I'm on the radio. We're not even allowed to curse. But I guess going for that, it worked, right? A lot of people viewed that, and it made its rounds. And to me, it was, one, a weird time to use the potty mouth. It's not something worth cursing about. And then it was hella weird because it was like, you're the guy that put out there that they were going to have the $300 million payroll that everybody reacted to. And then when they don't have it, why are you saying, are those people going to shut the F up now? Are you going to shut the F up now? You're the one who put that information out. Will, what's good, bro? I don't know, bro. We're in a weird time, man. We are in a weird time between old media, new media, social media, writers, reporters, radio hosts. Like, we are in a strange time now, folks. Survival of the fittest, only the strong survive. I'll see y'all where I see y'all. I'm good. I'm good because I do a lot, right? Like, I do this on camera, on microphone, but then I'm also outside. Like, you probably saw some of the stuff from the content creator event. When it gets warm again, I'm outside. I'll be at the games. I'll be at events. I'll be hosting events. But then I'll also jump on the mic and rock like this. And I think I've carved out my my lane, my voice, my sound. I think, after 4 years of radio, people know who I am. What was Joel crashing out about? I don't know. It was hella cringe. Look at his face, bro.
Will any of those people shut the fuck up now? They will not shut the fuck up. Will any of those people shut the fuck up now? They will not shut the fuck up. Will any of those people shut the fuck up now? They will not shut the fuck up.
Like usually, like, Usually when you tell somebody or people in general to shut the F up, it's a personal thing, right? Like when I got back on the fan and people were saying I was fired and I was cooked and I was done and that they canceled my show, will any of those people shut the F up now? Will any of those people shut the F up now? No, they won't shut the F up now. They're still, you know. Shit was wild goofy, bro. Shit was wild goofy, bro. $45 parking, $20 beer, food, Yankee Stadium, enjoy. Listen, not me. Not me. That's not how I do. That's not how I do. KP, you might have to come to a game with me so I can show you how I do. I learned how to maneuver when nobody knew who I was. I would be at Yankee Stadium spending $0 because I'm not going to Yankee Stadium and paying to park my car. I can't tell you the last time I can't recall. It's been years. I can't recall. The last time I paid to park my car at Yankee Stadium, that $41 and some change, I think it was because I brought my girl. It was before I was on the radio, and I think we were late where I was like, yo, we're cooked. Ain't nowhere to park. Like, park on the street and walk. They put the stadium in the middle of the Bronx. Park on Grand Concourse. Park in the hood and walk. You'll be all right. Lock your car. Lock your car. You'll be all right. And then beer, $20? Yeah, you won't see me doing that. There's enough free beer in that place. There's enough free beer. Have somebody bring you a beer down from the suite. Have somebody bring you a beer out of, the Audi Club or somewhere. Like, if I'm paying for a beer in there, it's got to be a draft. I'm not paying for beers in there. I'm not doing that. I bought my boy Omi a birthday beer. He said he specifically wanted a Corona. I'd never buy beer in there. The shock on my face when I go to ring that shit up and it was like 18.28. I'm like, wait a minute. Actually, no. Go to the Hard Rock. Walk your ass to the Hard Rock. Get you a beer in there. And then come out. It's not $20. P Nice says, take the D train. Take the train to the game on your 1-2. The 4 train, the D train, the B train. Take the bus. Take a cab, Uber, Lyft. Yeah, no, there's ways to finesse. And I'm about to get back on my, I also had a media parking pass. That's a flex. I probably won't have that now. Or maybe I will. Stay tuned. But nobody will know. It wouldn't matter. That's personal stuff. There are ways to maneuver around Yankee Stadium without spending that much money. Like they get the tourists. They get the people that aren't used to pulling up. Back in the day, I did that, but car is not doing that. You might have a nice car, and I understand that. I have a nice car, too. My car is brand new. For the most part, because I'm media, I know how to go through the channels to get a media parking pass. And shout out to my boy KD over at the Yankees. KD, you already know what it is. I'm going to text you, bro. All right, we got to wrap up. The Lone Silencer. What's up, Keith in chat? KMPM on a Thursday afternoon. You already know. You already know. How about DJ Khaled?
Another one.
Oh, all right. I got to end this because I got to go pick up my son from school. But thanks for rocking with me. We'll do another one soon. And everybody be well. Thanks for everybody that pulled up. When you back on the fan to listen, tomorrow at 7. Back on the fan Friday, 7 p.m. to 9:20 p.m. Pam says, it's expensive in the stadium, but I won't buy that 99 burger for $20. Meat, I never had one because I can't get one of those for free. And I'm telling y'all, pull up to the stadium before the game starts, at least 90 minutes to 2 hours before the game. And I'll show you where to go eat and drink and get your little buzz where you're good. You're good. You'll never see me standing in line at Yankee Stadium with the pitch clock now anyway. Because the game moves too fast. So draft beer at Hard Rock is $15. Oh, I guess I got a special pricing over there too. I guess I got special pricing over there too. I gotta stop acting like I'm just regular. Peace, Will. Can't wait for extra innings with Keith. It's just gonna be Cam to AM. It's already branded, bro. Post game, Cam to AM. When the Yankee game ends, I'll be sitting here watching it and streaming it, and then we will do the show till midnight every night, and then I'm going to sleep. So, thanks for watching. You guys already know what the deal is. Stay blessed, stay up, and stay ready so you ain't gotta get ready. Peace.